I know Dre knows.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? This is your man Orlando Page, and guess what? You're listening to my new podcast called The Review Podcast Show. That's right. This podcast here, we're going to be sitting down, relaxing, and reviewing some top-notch podcasts out there, and we're just going to be giving y'all an overlay of what the podcast was talking about, what the podcast is all about, things of that nature, so that you can go and check it out for yourself. So once again, this is the Review Podcast Show. Well, on this episode, I just want the podcast, which is Not the Same Podcast. Not the Same Podcast have a couple of dope brothers on there, which are the hosts. You had your brother C. Micah, and you have your brother Rob Redeem. The episode that I will be doing a little bit of an overlay on is the episode that they sat down with the sister, Tarcea Renee. Excuse me if I messed up your name. I do apologize. I know your name. Not sure why I messed it up. I'm sorry. But, from St. Louis, Missouri, doing her thing. She's an artist. She's a mom. She runs a label. I mean, she wears a lot of hats. She does graphics. She does a lot of things. Now, when I sat down and I was listening to Not the Same Podcast, one thing that always strikes me about their podcast that I always love, that I always enjoy listening to, is their banter between C. Micah and the brother Rob Redeem. I mean, they go back and forth. You could tell that they've been working together for a long time, and they just have that something special when they're talking to each other. And also, you can really tell that they're speaking in depth about the subject matter and about what they have going on their show. Now, this particular show with Miss Tarcea Renee, when they were interviewing her, one thing that really stuck out to me, and it's actually a question to everybody out there. CHH as a genre, are we really leaving our sisters of CHH in the background? I mean, because if you listen to the interview, you can really hear the passion in her voice when she speaks about certain things, about things within the genre, things that she tried to do as a woman, and certain individuals, certain companies, certain people, kind of sort of play her to the back because she's a woman within CHH. Now, are we doing this a lot and we're just not thinking about it? Or is this something that's deliberately being done? Now, I know that there are a lot of labels out there that have female artists on their labels, but do you really see those female artists being put out in the forefront as much as you see the male artists being put out in the forefront? Now, for instance, I like these labels. I'm not doing anything. I'm not dogging these labels out or anything of that nature. The labels that I'm talking about is like God Over Money. They have a young lady on there, AI The Anomaly. Also Reach Record. They have a young lady on their label, Wanda. So would that be the first time that you heard their names since I said something? Or have you actually seen them being pushed out there in front like a Dayton or like a Trip Lee and different folks like that. I guess I really can't say Trip Lee for Reach Records because he's a vet and he's been out there for a while. He's really earned his stripes to be pushed out there in the front. But what I'm getting at is, as a genre and CHH genre, are we putting our female artists that's repping Christ, that's doing music, that's doing digital work, that's doing videos, that's, making tracks, producers and stuff, are we putting our women out there like we put our men, like we hold up our men? That is something that I really, like I said, that really stuck out to me when I was listening to the interview. And another thing that when I was listening to the interview for Not the Same podcast is that y'all really need to go check out Tarcea Renee. I know I'm messing up your name, and I do apologize. I really do. Not sure what's going on tonight. But you really need to go check out that interview because, for me, I've known her music. I've listened to her music. I played her music on our station, RYC Praise News, where music is therapy. I've played her music before. And I really do respect her as an artist, respect her as a woman of God, respect her totally. And it really hit me when she was talking about that she's an introvert, and it's hard for her sometimes to be able to go out to different shows and things of that nature when she may not be able to bring her whole family because she has children, and sometimes she can bring her children, sometimes she may not be able to bring her children, but she really touched on that, and that was another part of the interview that I really enjoyed as well. So, like I said, this is a podcast where we're just going to be touching on different hit and misses, different points of different shows, podcasts that are out there, doing like a little bit of a review on the particular podcast that may be out there, something that you may have caught and something that you may not have caught. So we're going to help you out along so that you can make sure that you do not miss these different podcasts out here and go out there and support these brothers and sisters out here doing their thing for Christ. All right. So the Review podcast show is brought to you by RYC Praise News, Quake Radio, The Real Gospel Talk. So we're going to have some more episodes out there, and I'm just going to leave you with this tidbit here. If you know of a female artist that is out there, a female that's doing digital work, logos, things of that nature, that are making videos, be intentional and go out there and start giving some business to them. Be intentional and start really looking up some female artists to be, a feature on one of your songs and something. I'm not saying if they're whack, they're whack. But 9 times out of 10, they're not. Majority of the female artists that I know of, they can lay the mic out just like the male artists can. Some of them even better. So we need to stop overshadowing and stop overlooking our female artists and really bring them out to the forefront because they have something to really help build the kingdom of God. They have something to really help build CHH as a genre. So shout out to all my sisters out there doing it. Your brother here, Orlando, has your back. So once again, make sure y'all go out and check out that episode with Tarcea Renee on Not the Same podcast. And shout out to my brothers, C. Micah and Rob Redeem. We'll be back with another review, with another overlay of another podcast. Once again, this is the Review podcast show. Let's go.
Padre knows.